issue of harvest. We have not rounded up the matter concerning harvest celebration. We are still on the celebration of life, the way Christians, especially Christians, the way they celebrate activities is nothing to write home about. So I keep on wondering, I keep on surprised, I keep on amazing. So where did they get their facts? You see the same Bible I'm reading, and if I ask them questions, they can't justify it. They can't give me authentic justification of the activities they're carrying out. So I really want them to defend the facts of what they're practicing. Now I want to also read the book of Luke. The book of Luke, chapter 12. Let's see Luke chapter 10. Luke 10, verse 2. Look at what the Bible says concerning harvest. The harvest in the Old Testament is not the same harvest in the New Testament. It's differentiated. Verse 2. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great. The harvest is great. Then, what is harvest? The human beings, the sinners, they are great. They are much. But the laborers are few. The laborers are few. Pray ye, therefore, the labors of the harvest, that they would send forth laborers into the harvest. What's he trying to tell us? Christ was speaking to the disciples that truly the harvest is great. Talking about the harvest is referring to the human beings, the sinners. They are great, they are much, they are plenty. But the laborers are few. The laborers are the preachers of the word of God. Not all the preachers. Talking about the true preachers, the true teachers of the word of God. They are the people he's referring to. They are very few. That you should pray that God will send the true believers, the true preachers, the true teachers of the word of God that will harvest the harvest, that will harvest the souls, that will bring the sinners into the kingdom. It is not the harvest they are celebrating annually. Those ones is updated. They are no longer in vogue. So we are not talking about harvest of material things, but we are rather talking about harvest of souls. That is what Christ is referring to. Matthew 23, Matthew 13, verse 30, Matthew 13, verse 30. Still talking about that harvest of souls. Now we talk about harvest of souls and the laborers as the teachers of the word of God. These are the ones we're talking about. It has been substituted. Christ has substituted the harvest of the Old Testament to that of the New Testament. There is a substitute. Now let's read the book of Matthew 13, verse 30. Verse 30 says, Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tithes, and bind them in bundles. Bind them in bundles to burn them. But together the wheat into the barn. He said, gather together the wheat into the barn. Now, it's a parable he's talking about. The parable of souls. Talking about the parable of distinguishing the true believers and the other believers. You know, we have the true believers and the false believers. Now, he's talking about the harvest of, judgment. That's what this one is referring to. He said, the grape, he will gather the wheat and the thorns to the barn, and he burned the wheat, the grass, then harvest the true ones, gather them to the barn. So there's another harvest in the New Testament Christ is referring to. they harvest that at that judgment time, God will differentiate the sheep from the goats, differentiate the true believers from the sinners. This is another harvest. It is not the harvest of material things, eating and drinking. That's another harvest. When Peter and John, James were fishing, when Christ met them at the seashore, he said, "Come up, I will make you fishers of men." That is what he's talking about. It's not the other material things. What Christ was interested about is the souls, harvest of souls, fishers of men, fishing out souls, is what he's talking about. So those of you that celebrate harvest, we don't know where I get the idea of harvest. So at this moment we shall pause. We shall still continue to explain in our subsequent videos. We shall also still talk about some other scriptural references on harvest.